Okay, you need to hear this. We have some major breaking news. This is not your typical launch update, not even close. We're talking about a catastrophic failure that just happened. And with it, we've lost, get this, the world's first space cybercafe.
And no, I am not kidding. This isn't something from last week. This whole disaster went down just hours ago. And believe me, the fallout from this is going to be huge.
All right, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and get right into it. What we just witnessed was a total bust in space. India's space agency, ISRO, launched its PSLV-C62 mission, and it was packed with some of the most next-level tech you can imagine.
And to put it bluntly, the rocket didn't make it. It completely failed to reach orbit. So everything on board, all of that amazing futuristic hardware, it's gone. A complete and total loss.
So what exactly was on that rocket that has everyone freaking out? Well, this is where a simple mission failure turns into a massive blow to the future of space tech. Because we are talking about the loss of some truly insane technology.
There were two unbelievable payloads on this thing. First, you had the Space Cyber Cafe, built for on-the-spot AI-powered data processing. And then there was the Space Petrol Pump, designed for refueling other satellites right there in orbit. Both were absolute game changers, and both are now gone. Okay, first up, let's talk about the MOI-1 from a company called Inspecity. They nicknamed this thing the Space Cyber Cafe, and man, for good reason. It was literally poised to completely rewrite the rules for how we get data from space. So the whole idea here is something called edge computing. The easiest way to think about it is like putting an AI brain inside the satellite, up there in orbit. It processes massive files and data right on the spot. So for things like disaster response or critical military intel, you're not waiting hours for some slow download to a ground station. You get the info you need instantly. And this right here lays it out perfectly. Look at the old way. Satellite sends data down, a ground station has to crunch the numbers, and then it finally gets to you. It's so slow and clunky. The new way with the Cyber Cafe, the satellite does all the heavy lifting in space and just beams the finished product right to you. A massive leap forward. Now for the second piece of lost tech, the Alesat from Manastu Space. This was basically an orbital petrol pump, and it was just as revolutionary, but for a totally different reason. The key word here is sustainability. See, right now, when a satellite runs out of fuel, that's it. It's game over. It becomes a dead, useless, and honestly a dangerous piece of space junk. This petrol pump was the solution, a way to top off satellites in orbit and keep them working for years longer. So, a failed rocket, some lost hardware. You might be thinking, what's the big deal, right? Wrong. This isn't just another failed launch. The consequences of this are absolutely massive.
Let's break down exactly why this loss matters so much, not just for the companies who built this stuff, but for the entire future of how we operate in space.
The real loss here isn't about the money. It's about time. A failure of this magnitude sets the development of these critical technologies back by months, maybe even years. We just lost a massive amount of forward momentum. This is just a huge hit right across the board. The world's first space-based AI server? Gone. The dream of instant real-time data from orbit? Yeah, that's been delayed. And a more sustainable future in space thanks to orbital refueling? That just got pushed way down the road.
So with all this incredible tech now likely at the bottom of the ocean, you're probably wondering what happens next. Well, trust me when I say this story is far from over.
Look, this is a developing story, which means you need to stay plugged in. For all the latest updates on the investigation and the recovery efforts, you need to be following the Webb Watch. Go find them and subscribe. Do it now.
And that leaves us with the one big question that's hanging over all of this. This technology is way too important to just give up on. So, as the dust from this failure settles, who's going to be the one to step up and build the next one?